Welcome to the Community Air Protection Program online training series. This module provides training on community air monitoring under Assembly Bill 617, also called AB 617. We'll be covering a few topics, including what is a community air monitoring plan and why is it important? What is the process for developing an air monitoring plan under AB 617 and who is involved in the process? And importantly, what resources are available to help when developing community air monitoring plans? Let's begin by defining community air monitoring. Community air monitoring is the process of collecting measurements to reveal what is in the air in our community. We use community air monitoring to support a variety of objectives. It can help us understand the amount of air pollutants in a community, or it can help us understand what air pollution sources are most important so we can find ways to reduce pollution. Ultimately, air monitoring can provide the data needed to take action and improve air quality in our community. Air monitoring can suit many purposes. A community air monitoring plan guides the process of planning and conducting action-focused air monitoring. A well-developed plan should document how the air districts work with community members to identify objectives, goals, and approaches for air monitoring, and establish a roadmap for how monitoring will be conducted. Collecting air monitoring data can be fun and valuable, but in order to make conclusions from the data, we need a good plan. We need to clearly define goals, identify hurdles that may come up, and develop strategies to overcome these challenges. Having a good plan before any monitoring starts is the first step toward ensuring monitoring will be effective and the resulting data can be used to drive action and influence change. CARB's Community Air Protection Blueprint, Appendix E, contains 14 elements which guide the community air monitoring planning process. These elements help communities and air districts develop good plans. The criteria are designed to be flexible enough to apply to a variety of monitoring needs, yet rigorous enough to support taking action. The 14 elements are broken down into 3 key sections. Monitoring plans should define the reasons or the why for conducting community air monitoring, establish how air monitoring will be conducted, and specifically under AB 617, determine how the data will be evaluated and applied to ensure the results meet the needs of the community and support actions to improve air quality. To begin, elements 1 through 5 help determine why air monitoring should be conducted. Let's talk about that process. The first step towards defining the reason for conducting air monitoring is bringing members of the community together to form a community steering committee. Community steering committees are an integral part of community air monitoring under AB 617. Their input is what drives the direction of the monitoring plan. Community steering committees work with the air district to guide what goes into air monitoring plans and how they are implemented. They may, for example, discuss air quality concerns, different monitoring approaches, locations where monitoring should occur, actions they'd like monitoring to support, and ways data should be displayed and communicated. Community steering committees are unique to each community and play a pivotal role in decision-making throughout the entire process. After convening the steering committee, the next step is to define and document why air monitoring is needed. Community-specific purposes for air monitoring should be clear, concise statements that describe the need or needs for air monitoring and what the monitoring plan will address. Examples include increasing understanding of local air quality, identifying local pollution sources or hotspots, and evaluating how air quality changes over time. Community-specific purposes should lead to actions that may be supported with air monitoring data. Example actions might include making local air quality information available to community members so that they can inform their personal choices, understanding pollution coming from specific sources in the community and developing ways to reduce that pollution, and using air quality data to assess progress in improving community air quality and reducing exposure. Air monitoring objectives bring the community-specific purpose and desired scope of actions together. These objectives can be thought of as goals that form the foundation for the rest of the monitoring plan. For example, if a community steering committee has a general concern about pollution from local sources, they may decide that the plan's monitoring objective is to understand what specific kinds of pollution are coming from these sources. The plan's monitoring objectives would then detail the monitoring approach to measure pollution from sources in the community, including the types of data necessary, measurements to be made, time period for monitoring, and any supporting information or measurements. When the monitoring objective has been fully defined, the Community Steering Committee can begin to determine how air monitoring will be conducted. Elements 6 through 11 contain many of the technical details of the monitoring plan. The first step to collect quality data that supports plan objectives is to define the level of data quality that will be required using data quality indicators like precision and bias. These are performance metrics that assist in designing a good plan. The level of data quality needed will vary from project to project depending on the intended actions the data are meant to support. For example, plans that include regulatory actions will require a greater degree of data quality when compared to plans whose actions are intended to engage the public. The plan should have the highest level of data quality needed to support the desired actions. When a plan's data quality needs are determined, it's time to select appropriate methods and equipment. A wide range of methods and equipment, such as air sensors, mobile monitoring, and more traditional methods, are available for air monitoring projects. Air districts should work with community members to look at monitoring options alongside considerations such as cost, complexity, and performance. Air districts should then talk with community members about where monitoring will be conducted in the community and provide justifications for why certain locations were chosen. Once methods, equipment, monitoring locations, and monitoring duration are determined, defining quality control procedures and data management will help to ensure the resulting data are useful. This includes answering questions such as, how will we ensure data meet the degree of quality needed to answer the question? How will we control for errors in the field, in the laboratory, or during data analysis? What kind of system will we have for collecting, managing, reviewing, and storing data? Defining these quality control procedures in the plan will ensure all parties can understand how data were generated. Air districts need to include a work plan that describes field procedures and provides a timeline for community air monitoring. This will be a helpful tool for ensuring that all of the logistical details of the monitoring have been addressed before any monitoring has been conducted. Now that we've laid out how air monitoring will be conducted to address community air quality, we can move into the final section, how the data will be used to take actions that improve local air quality, covered in elements 12 through 14. Defining how data will be used to take action includes outlining metrics to evaluate effectiveness. For example, holding monthly meetings to review results to ensure original objectives are being met and determine if adjustments are needed. Next, identifying an approach for analyzing and interpreting data to ensure monitoring data will be used appropriately. Finally, element 14, communicating results, determines in advance how air monitoring information will be shared so that all stakeholders understand where and when data will be available. This final step is to ensure air monitoring results in effective action, and everyone knows what they can expect once monitoring is underway. Today we've provided an overview of the 14 monitoring plan elements found in the AB 617 blueprint. More information can be found in CARB's Community Air Monitoring Toolbox, including information on current community air monitoring systems in California, an overview of available air monitoring measurement technologies and their applications, further guidance for developing monitoring plans, community science resources, and information on CARB's current community air monitoring activities. The Community Air Monitoring Toolbox is updated periodically as new information becomes available. Thank you for watching this overview of Appendix E and Community Air Monitoring under AB 617. For more information, please visit the Community Air Protection Program website.